Hi, I'm Zach,
I'm Cameron.
and we are going to show you how to play Downforce, the game of high-stakes speed. No advanced driving courses are necessary. This is a game all about betting and bankrolling driving teams. It is incredibly simple and very, very fun and does not take a long time to play, and we're going to show you how to do that right now.
Yep.
Okay, this is Downforce, and this game is a game about clever betting and clever bankrolling of racing teams.
So it's not about going fast?
It is about going fast.
All right, Sonic.
Yeah. So every player is going to get dealt an equal number of cards from a speed deck. And each of the cards in your deck has a number of colored cars on it, each with a certain value. And higher values are fast, as you might suspect. And some cards have wild on it, which means they can represent any color that you need them to at the time. And we'll explain how that goes in a second. So the first part of every game is the bidding part of the game. So basically, we're going to go through each of the 6 racing teams, each of them has a color, and decide who is going to end up bankrolling them. So we've shuffled the 6 team colors here, and so I'm going to deal one out. So first off, we're going to bid for the orange team and for the possibility of using a special power during the game. These are things that we're not going to go into detail on this video for, but basically each of those powers has a distinct way of breaking the core rules that we'll get into. So everyone is going to play one of the cards from their hand face down in front of them and reveal them. And the player with the highest value orange area will earn the sponsorship of the orange team. Now, it's important to note that playing a higher number is more likely to get you the winning bid, but that value is then subtracted from your score because you are literally giving them money. So you don't want to necessarily bid the maximum amount. And besides that fact, you will get all your cards back at the end of each bid. So you just want to be cautious in how you bid. So say we all.
Can I use a wild?
No, you have to use a card with that color on it.
And if it had the color on it and a wild, would that add or would?
No, that wouldn't make any difference. If 2 people bid the same amount, then whichever card has more cars on it wins that bid. And if it's still a tie, then I believe whoever has... Shit. Let's stop there because I just completely forgot that. If there is still a tie, then whichever card does not have a wild symbol on it wins, because all the cards are unique, so there's never going to be a chance for a complete tie.
Gotcha.
So, say we all play that. I'll reveal. So you bid 5, you bid 1, and I bid 3. So you would win the bid for the orange team, which means you get this 8 card. That goes into your hand at the end of the bidding phase, so you don't use it. You get the orange sponsorship. So everyone knows that the orange car is Cameron's car. But we're also going to write down on a score pad or on Board Game Arena, it will get automatically tracked, that you are -5 megabucks in the hole.
Yes. I'm going to put that just here.
Yeah. So we all take our card back. You also get this aggressive card.
I am
You
aggressive.
get hold that for later. So we're going to do that again with the next card. So this is for the green team. And it's for the power strategic. So you bid 3, you bid 1, and I bid 6. So I get the green sponsorship. I get the 8 card and strategic.
Now, it's important to note, you don't have to have a card, do you?
No, you can pass by basically playing a card that doesn't have the color on it whatsoever, and it's pretty easy to find one that is the deck. But the core of this, though, is that by the end of all of the auctions, every player must have at least 1 card representing them. So basically, if we get down to it and there's 2 cars left, and there's 2 people without cars, then only they can participate in the bid at that point.
Gotcha.
So we're going to fast forward through this to get to the start of the game where everyone's got their sponsorship set up. All right, okay. Cut here. And black.
You're going to sponsor a lot?
Green, black. You get Pick one.
I want red. Fast.
Give me blue.
Blue and yellow. And we just need to do power. And you get blue and yellow 8s. You get red.
Now, we only get the 1 power.
Yes, and I'll cover that.
All right, cool.
Okay, so we're all set up. If you end up with more than 1 power card, you have to choose which one you want to keep before the game starts. So you don't get all the powers, that would be super broken. But we've all got our sponsorships here. So every turn of the game, which goes around the table, each player is going to play 1 card. And that card is going to have any number of team colors and numbers on it. And then from top to bottom, that player moves those cards a certain number of spaces forward. When you move a card, you can always move into the next available forward space or forward diagonal space. If there is traffic, you have to stop short. There are no crashes in this game. It's fairly benign in terms of play. Whoever sponsored the car that was here gets to take the first turn. So that would be you, Cameron.
I lucked up. So
That note that when you got the sponsorships for the teams, you got their 8 move card with it. So that card can be played later on to move just that card 8 spaces.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I'm going to move orange 5.
Yeah.
There we go.
So that card being finished, we move on to the next player.
I'm gonna play many cards.
So yellow moves 6, if you can. Yep, and you can,
And
as long as
pause.
you move. Oh, food's here.
We can probably finish this real quickly though.
Yeah.
Hey, we're about to finish this real quick. I'm gonna do the yellow again though, okay?
Okay.
I'll just do this part again.
All right.
Alright, the next turn, I'm gonna play this card.
All right, so that means the yellow card will move 6 spaces. And again, you move forward or forward diagonally, which means you can do some pretty
Oh,
clever.
you gonna be in front of me like that?
Yep, you can do some
What's
really
it gonna
clever
be?
maneuvering. So move your blue car 4. Then you move any car that is not already on that card 2 spaces. Then you move the orange car 1. It could move diagonally to the side, so you do have to move. You do have to move a card if it has moves available to it. But you can play cards cleverly such that the cards you care about get to move and the cards you don't get to sit around.
Now, it's the person that's playing the card that moves the cards, correct?
Correct. So you may not always have control of your own cars, though there are some exceptions that you'll see.
Like how I can always move my cards even on other people's turns.
Yes, though we're not going to play the actual power cards in this example, but they will.
Exactly.
You will get to see them during the game on Board Game Arena, and there are plenty of powers to pick from. So anyway, so as we play, we're going to move these cars around. But once one of the cars passes the first yellow line at the end of that player's turn, everyone is then required to place a bet on which car they think will come in first. When that happens again, when any player's car passes the second yellow line, another bet is called. And we do that again for the third place. We keep moving cars until all of them cross the finish line. When all of your sponsored cars cross the finish line, you no longer take turns. That's kind of a counterbalance for being able to mess with other people's cars. But once all the cars cross the finish line and you know what the placements are, so this is you then total up your scores. There is money that you earn for how well your cars do, but you also score money for how good your bets are. So you don't necessarily have to pick who wins and comes in first, but if you pick who comes in second and third, you still get money for your bets. So it's a combination of predicting who's going to come in first, but also making sure that your cards come in and perform well.
Yeah.
And then you add up all the money that you earned, subtract the amount that you spent in the bidding phase, and then you have your total, and whichever player has the most money wins the game.
Now, quick question. As far as the betting right here, are they all the same bets or are they different amounts?
If you bet correctly earlier, it's worth more points. You can obviously, once a car is passed here, it's a lot easier to tell which cars might actually come in first. Those bets are worth less. Anyway, but that's it. That's the basic rules of the game. There are multiple tracks on Board Game Arena that you can play that have special rules and advanced powers. So this game has plenty of different ways to play it. But yeah, it's just a high thrill betting game with fast cards. All right, so that's Downforce, a game of high speed racing and high stakes wagering. We'll be playing this and other games during the Let's Get Digital weekend, December 11th through the 13th. And there will be MomoCon volunteers and staff on hand to both teach this game and other games and play along with you. So we hope to see you there. And that's all we have for now.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks for watching.